So.
Coach Joseph described you kind of going into his office yesterday and saying, hey, I don't want to be pulled out of the game, and then he's pretty honest with you. He doesn't want to do it either, but he will if you have to. Like, what's it like to have a relationship with a head coach like that? And how did you process that sort of brief departure from the game in the second quarter?
Well, like I said, Mickey Joseph is a big reason why I came here. So I've had a relationship with him for a long time. He's known me since I was a kid. So him and my dad have a really good relationship, really good friends. They've known each other since they went on recruiting trips in college. So I've always felt like that I had that relationship with Mickey. So we have a lot of conversations on a daily basis in his office, on the sidelines. But he's hard on me. He's always hard on me, and I'm hard on myself. But I told him, and I don't want to be out of the game if I'm healthy enough to play. If I'm pushing through injuries or pushing through stuff during the week and practicing, and I don't even like whenever they don't even give me like a certain plays. They put Chubb or Logan in. Me personally, I'm just a competitor. I don't ever want to be on the sideline. I always want to be in the game. So he understands that, and he said it's good to be that way. But anytime that they, even whenever I went down, landed on my shoulder and came out the game, I told them don't take me out. Not even for one play. They end up doing it anyways. So they heard about it, but it's all good. I mean, it was just something that we played 75 to 80 plays of offense. They don't want me taking a lot of hits, like I talked about before. So they don't want me playing every single snap the whole game. So I understand that we have to play multiple quarterbacks, especially Chubb and Logan, with them being fresh bodies and them not dealing with injuries and not being banged up. That's something that they're able to provide as well on Saturdays.
Did you just run onto the field then? Like, so Chubb went out there and ran a play. Then did you just run out there, or did they tell you to go out there?
No, I told him when I came back out of the tent from seeing the doctor that I was going to play the rest of the game. I told Coach Whipple, and he was like, okay, you're back in. So he said that Chubb was only going in for one play. They wanted to get Chubb a little bit of action, like I said. Chubb and Logan have to be ready to play at any point because your starting quarterback can go down at any point bearing injuries. So I understand they have to get those guys some gain reps. And so you guys have kind of noticed throughout the season we've been giving those guys some gain reps here and there in pretty live situations, no matter what the scoreboard is. So I understand, like I said, why we have to play multiple quarterbacks, especially with me being banged up from week to week. The bye week helped a lot. But like I said, I've been pushing through some things last few weeks, so I understand why they're doing it.
You guys are 2 games into the Big Ten now. Just how wide open does the West feel, knowing Wisconsin has fired their coach this weekend, and a lot of other things have happened that nobody could have predicted in the West?
I mean, we know we have a chance every week, but the Big Ten West is it's a good spot to be in right now for us. But we're just focused on Rutgers, obviously. Last week we're focused on Indiana. And then, you see the scores and stuff. Every Saturday in college football is crazy. I kind of talked about that before. So you never know what can happen. And we're just ready to go out every week and compete and focus on winning each conference game one game at a time. We can't focus on what's in the past. But, yeah, I mean, the Big Ten West is wide open right now. So we just have to continue to stack days ahead of us and just take one game at a time. So that's what the focus is now.
How does your shoulder feel right now?
My shoulder is my body overall just sore today. I've seen a lot of things last few weeks. First few games, like the Northwestern game, I was fine. Obviously, the first game of the season is the best your body will feel the whole season. Ever since then, I've been pushing through some things. I think I had a left calf contusion, hip pointer, left wrist sprain 1 week. I had an AC joint. Obviously, landed on my shoulder this past game. Just dealing with some stuff. I think 2 games this year I took a couple of hits to the jaw. So just dealing with the sore jaw, just stuff throughout the week that, like I said, I'm having to manage and deal with. And so that's why it's really important that we have every quarterback ready to play just in case something happens. But this past game, I just landed on it. Obviously, it's painful. It doesn't hurt for me to take hits, but it's the worst whenever you have 300-plus pound linemen plus my body weight landed on top of my shoulder. There's not really pads or shoulder pads that are meant to, bear that kind of weight. So I just landed on it, and I threw today, and I practiced today, and it was fine, like I said. We just have to continue to monitor the hits that I'm taking and just continue to get treatment and just trying to stay healthy 1 week at a time. But like I told him, Coach Joseph, I'm not coming off the field unless it's a season-ending injury. So if I'm going to practice, then I'm going to play in the game.
Casey, did you kind of talk with the offensive line, during the game, and you were getting chased around, you took a couple of hits. So what are those conversations kind of like?
Yeah, no, this past game, they were actually pretty good. We rotated a lot of guys, and we had a lot of guys playing in a rotation, but I feel like they gave me a good time in the pocket this week. I took a couple of hits, but I think I've had a pretty clean pocket. I just always try to motivate the guys and encourage them. And then whenever it's about to be a big play, I'll tell them, like, this is going to be a touchdown if you guys give me, 2 or 3 seconds or whatever I tell them that we need. They do a good job, and so I was very proud and happy for the guys that got to play on Saturday, and I thought they did a pretty good job. And then what I do tell them, like, sometimes I talk to Coach Joseph and during the bye week, and we kind of talked about ways to approach the offensive line. It's easier to tell the offensive line and my teammates, what to do or what I need instead of telling them what not to do. I think that helps for sure. So a lot of times I just tell them, hey, I need 2 seconds right here. Hey, I need 3 seconds. Or I'll tell my tackles, try to work inside out and, make them rush around the edge so I can step up, things like that. So I always just try to, stay on top of them. But that's something that Coach Joseph wants me to do more. He's challenging me to be more demanding and be more vocal with those guys. I'm always communicating with the whole offense, but he wants me to get on to them harder during the week at practice, so that way on Saturdays they're used to it, and that way I don't have to say anything. And then he said when he used to play quarterback, he used to make comments like, when you get knocked down to the ground and the O-line comes to help pick you up, he goes, tell them that you shouldn't be on the ground in the first place. So those are things that he wants me to say things like that. I told him I'll be more demanding, but I'm gonna do it in my own way. I don't cuss guys out. I don't scream in their face, but I'm just gonna do it in my own way.
Casey, he was only throwing about 12 passes a game. He
Yeah.
was throwing about 45. So, what's it like to run against a path behind kind of a different offensive line every half? It's kind of been the case.
Honestly, I know there's like every other play or every quarter. Sometimes when I watch the film, there's different O-line in the game, but I don't know. I'm just trying to focus on reading the defense and going through my progression. And then I don't stare at the rush, but obviously I can feel when a guy gets close. It's like playing tag in the backyard. When somebody gets close, you kind of flinch a little bit. So just trying to maneuver in the pocket, but I want to stay in there as long as possible. Like I said, the last few weeks before this past game, Georgia Southern and OU, and even this past week, been dealing, like I said, I had a calf contusion, so it was limiting me during the week at practice. I didn't run full speed for a few weeks, and so, but now my body feels better now. Coming off that bye week, I feel more healthy and fresh. So being able to get my legs back will be great. So that way, when the pressure does come, I'll be able to escape and run out of the pocket and maybe take off a little bit more too.
You've been holding on to the ball too long?
No, just I would say a few times in the last few games. Really throughout this whole season, I've done a good job of getting the ball out on time and making reads, so that way we don't take sacks. But yeah, I would say I've had a few plays this year, particularly in the last few games. Like I said, just standing in the pocket and maybe holding on to it a little bit too long, but that hasn't been an issue. So I try not to worry about that and make it a bigger deal than what it needs to be.
Some guys aren't maybe built for tough critiques. Does your experience help you, like with that in game when it gets a little fiery and stuff like that on the sidelines? That usefully you've been around the block.
Yeah, my dad was harder on me than any coach that we have here, so I'm used to that. He used to get in my face when I was a kid growing up. When I was like 5 or 6, 7 years old, he was hard on me. He was always in my face and always just telling me what I need to hear. But no, it doesn't matter what a player or coach says to me. And I feel like if anybody has the competitive spirit and wants to win and is a self-motivator, there's really nothing that anybody can say or do, regardless of if it's family, friends, a coach, a teammate. There's nothing that anybody says to me on the sideline that's going to make me go up or down. I always try to stay even keel. Like I said, I even told Coach Joseph I'm fine. And at that point in the game, whenever I missed a read and Coach Whipple got onto me, I told him after the game, I was like, I was 6 for 7 with 1 touchdown. It was the second drive of the game. I'll be fine, So, no, I feel like that I'm fine. And having those game experience reps and, dealing in the fire, there's nothing like live action in the games, when bullets are flying. So having experience for sure and having those starts last year definitely helped. So, but I personally, I'm a player that wants to be coached and I want the feedback. So I'd rather a coach be hard on me and give me direct feedback and tell me exactly what it is that he's expecting and what he's looking for and demand it out of me instead of being passive or being quiet and just not saying anything at all. I'd rather be coached hard.
That idea of monitoring the number of hits that you take throughout the season, as you've started to watch tape in the Big Ten, you played 2 Big Ten teams, and I'm sure you've seen some others on tape now. Do you get a sense of how that might grow in importance when you get into the teeth, start to get into the teeth of this conference, and if it's somewhat unique to the Big Ten just because of the physical nature of the league?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning as on the go. I'm used to. I mean, last year I had 10 starts, but it was all in the Big 12. A lot of people don't give the Big 12 credit. They have some physical defensive line and defenses there as well with Oklahoma State, Baylor, TCU. Had to play against guys like O'Shawn. He's real fast. He's big. So I would say that the Big Ten Conference is, so far from what I've experienced, has been very physical. We know it's going to be a long season, and every Big Ten game is going to be physical. So at this point, just getting into week 5, week 6, week 7, still being able to play and be healthy throughout the week is important. But the first few games, really just trying to get past like the North Dakota, the Georgia Southern. Didn't want to get banged up during those weeks because we know the Big Ten play is going to be a long season, 8-game stretch. So, I would say it's a physical game for sure, but I feel pretty good about where I'm at right now. And I know we've had some guys go down here or there, but we're in a pretty good spot so far, and we're pretty healthy. Like I said, that bye week really helped us out a lot across the board. So I feel good right now, and like I said, I'm ready to go every week.
Generally speaking, Casey, what's your philosophy for playing well on the road? And have you ever been to the New York City area?
Yeah, I've been to New York one time. I actually went on New Year's. I went for my first time ever going. Some of my high school friends went, and they were like, "You should come to New York City." So I flew there for a couple of days. Went to Miami and New York, kind of just by myself, and then I hung out with my friends there. But no, it was cold when I went. I remember that for sure, and it was real crowded and congested. But like I said, every game to me, it's the same 53 yards wide and 120-yard field. So to me, it's all the same. But playing on the road, I think we'll be fine. The challenge this week is just playing on Friday. But no, I think we'll be fine playing on the road. I love road games. I like wearing the white jerseys, and I like plane rides. So it's just another game for us, and I think that we'll be fine. Like I said, it's just a shorter week, so have to get our bodies back underneath this and our legs back. But I'm excited to play on the road.
Hey, Casey, when you said that you tell your offensive line, hey, give me X amount of seconds, is that kind of the conversation you had before that long pass to Trey at 71-yarder? Like, do you remember specifically?
No, I didn't say anything that play at all. I was just trying to get everybody lined up. A lot of the adversity that you guys were talking about during the game is there's just a lot of things that are happening on game day that you can't simulate at practice, with alignment issues, with penalties, with emotions running high, with playing a lot of the guys, rotating different personnel to, maybe getting yelled at by the coach. Everybody's wired up and everybody wants to win, and I think sometimes it's my job to kind of stay poised in those situations and instill confidence and poised to the O-line and the offense. And they always talk to me and say, just stay poised and stay calm. On that play in particular, I didn't really say anything. It was like 3rd and 9, so I just dropped back, took a 5-step drop. I saw Trey beat the dude, I think, like way before he even ran past him, so I just let it go, and then he ran underneath it. So it's pretty cool play, and like I said, I was definitely happy for Trey. But in the fourth quarter, I texted Brant Banks after the game. I was definitely happy for him. He came in the game and he played well, didn't give up any sacks, and so I congratulated the O-line, and they're excited to go out to eat for the first time in a long time. So we're going to go to Momo's Pizza at some point this week, and then they want to go to eat again after Friday's game to celebrate as well. So every time we win and anytime the offensive line does a good job, they want to be rewarded. So I'm just going to take them to eat again.
Where'd you go?
We're going to go this week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're thinking maybe Momo's Pizza or the Venue or something like that, but I don't know. We'll see. They'll eat anything though.
All right. Thank you, Casey.